Several tax situations combined might leave an elderly property owner with $75,000 in debt when they decide to sell their home after owning it for many years. This doesn't stem from deception or hiding information, but rather from a single caring family decision that most people never come across. There's a woman from Ohio whose story I know well. For 34 years, she owned her home. Last year, she completed the transaction, expecting no tax consequences whatsoever. Throughout her entire adult life, she lived in that house, raised her family there, and paid off the mortgage years before. What seemed like a simple transaction and fresh start. Then came an invoice totaling $23,400. The decision that caused this happened while sitting at her dining table one Tuesday, thinking she was making a smart move and protecting her family. The whole thing took under 10 minutes to complete. If your age exceeds 60 and you own a home, the deadline of April 15th decides whether this situation gets resolved smoothly or becomes extremely difficult. I mean that with complete seriousness. Let me explain precisely what occurred in her situation and its importance to your circumstances today. However, first, an important disclaimer. What I'm sharing today relies on existing IRS rules and current federal tax legislation, which includes the One Big Beautiful Bill Act that became law on July 4, 2025. This information doesn't replace advice from a qualified tax advisor. Consider this your starting point, not your complete answer. Let me outline what we'll cover. 4 traps. 4 seemingly normal decisions homeowners make that are silently generating IRS problems for older adults currently. Following that, 3 items that might actually put cash back in your hands when filing for 2025 that the majority of people past 60 never learn about. Finally, a 7-step action plan, which includes a complimentary tool on the IRS's actual website showing precisely what details they possess about your home. The majority only learn about the traps. Rarely do people find the money they're overlooking. When this presentation ends, both will be clear to you. Stay until the end. Those 4 traps create an acronym spelling home. H represents home equity errors. O stands for ownership and title modifications. M means move-out timing prior to selling. E equals extra revenue from the residence. Before proceeding, if you're finding value here today, click the like button and forward this to any person you know who's past 60 and owns real estate. That single share might prevent someone from losing thousands. Those needing this information most typically hear about it last. Now let me finish her narrative. Margaret is her name. She represents a fictional blend created from actual cases tax experts see consistently. Each individual I reference here follows this same pattern: actual scenarios, blended identities. Margaret's spouse died several years back. Her daughter Sarah took over after his passing. Shopping, home repairs, medical visits, all of it. One day, Margaret's next-door neighbor suggested putting Sarah on the title to simplify matters down the road, skip probate, maintain family ownership. The logic seemed sound. Margaret proceeded with it. The county recorder's office, basic paperwork, no lawyer, no tax expert, no cause for hesitation. Here's the information Margaret didn't receive. Transferring partial ownership of your home to someone else, including your offspring, can make the IRS classify this as a gift subject to taxation. Based on the transferred value, this might require submitting documentation on Form 709. Additionally, when the home eventually sells, the individual you placed on the title might not receive the identical tax break you qualify for since they didn't reside there as their main home. 2 years later, Margaret found out when her tax advisor examined her return and spoke 4 words she wasn't prepared for. We need to discuss. Each penny of that invoice was avoidable. The IRS doesn't consider your reasoning. It simply evaluates your actions and whether proper documentation exists. Positive intentions don't appear on tax documents. Now, let's discuss the home equity errors. Pay attention because this section causes most people to lose focus. That lack of attention is precisely what creates financial losses. The majority of homeowners think that money originating from their residence must connect to the residence for tax matters. This belief is wrong. Period. An older adult borrows $40,000 or $50,000 from their home's equity via a HELOC. The funds help a grandchild pay tuition, handle a health crisis, or eliminate debt. Since the money came from the house, they believe the interest qualifies for deduction. Wrong, unless those funds purchased, constructed, or significantly upgraded the home backing the loan. That's the regulation from the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017. When money goes elsewhere, that interest becomes personal interest, non-deductible. Claiming it wrongly generates a discrepancy that IRS automated systems are getting better at detecting. Consider this now. Have you borrowed against your home or opened a HELOC within the past 3 years? Where did those funds really end up? Invested in the residence or used elsewhere? When used elsewhere, you require consultation with a CPA or enrolled agent prior to April 15th because incorrect interest handling has solutions available currently that get significantly harder once the deadline expires. The O-Trap generates